He's kind of an unidentified Bloodhound. Is the very first character in this lineup. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Gray here. Hound, the character that's the game's main tracker and recon character, he has special abilities allowing him to mix both technology and the old ways of tracking to create one super tracker.
I am Bloodhound. You can call me Bloodhound.
There's a series made popular by the streamer named Macro about how to play all the different legends, but for noobs. But what about all the players that kind of already know what they're doing? We first start with Bloodhound and a brief overview of his abilities. And Eye of the Allfather, which gives the player this ability to scan and see where the players are located.
With the ability to follow tracks, see through walls.
I downed the hostile.
His passive is a tracker that shows footprints and times, and his ultimate is Beast of the Hunt. This ability allows him to turn everything to grayscale and heat sink enemies. Bloodhound is one of those characters that can hunt down foes, locate them for your teammates to see. Speaking of teammates, who pairs well with the Hound? Bangalore, Caustic, Gibby, Ash, Wraith, and Octane are all good options to go with for this legendary beast. Now, some legends will be better than others. Gibby and Wraith both pair well with Bloodhound because he already has this aggressive playstyle, and the Bloodhound can dash right into fights, but having the option to quickly back away, getting some cover, and regain control and get the upper hand on a situation is crucial to you being victorious with this character, either by using Gibby's bubble or Wraith's portals to kind of dip out of a situation. The ability to reposition and regain health and ammo is very important and very beneficial to this legend's playstyle. Bangalore and Caustic definitely provide a different set of defense than most other mentioned legends. For example, if you're more hesitant to push into a fight, having the option to disorient your enemies and using his tactical to show your team where the locations are will definitely help give you the benefit in gaining an edge over your enemies. Caustic and Bang both have gas abilities which can stun and even blind enemies. That then allows you to push into a confused, ready to be eliminated player. If paired with Bang and Caustic, try to pick up a digi threat, as this will be useful later on to see through their smokes without having to waste a scan or an ultimate. Ash and Octane both provide quick and effective ways to keep Bloodhound's constant playstyle of pushing and moving through the map. As if you play this character, you will constantly find yourself accidentally kind of moving away from your team. It is good to communicate with these characters that you want to rotate and drive towards a new vantage point in hopes of finding loot and maybe some fights. Tactically use your scan to get information for the team. Scanning doesn't mean you have to push. One thing most beginner Bloodhounds do is constantly scan either before they go into a fight or as soon as their cooldown is up. Though yes, any information you can get your teammate is beneficial, tactically using this ability is a lot better. The closer you are to hit all your enemies and then push, you need to be able to actually use the information that you just got. Waiting for your team to gain good angles and then blowing a scan and wanting to see where they're at is crucial to your success if you want to become a pro with this character. You want to make sure that you are using his abilities in a spot where you can actually act on this newfound information. If you think or hear enemies to a specific side of you, either left, right, up, down, wherever they're at, use your scan in that general direction. The scan doesn't go all the way around you. We know that. So it's not a radius. So if you think there's going to be multiple teams around you, scan in the biggest direction where you think they're going to be so that you can see as much information as possible and get that back to your team. If you're in the last ring, maybe just shoot it in the ring. You'll get a lot of information out of it. Pre-firing your scan. Let's say a team is rotating towards a rock. If you can scan in front of where they're running towards and then scan in that general direction, you'll probably catch them off guard and be able to predict where they're going to be and not where you last saw them. That way you can actually see and keep up with the information of where they're at, not where they were. A lot of noobs to Bloodhound don't know this, but if you see the crows fade away like on the ground, that means there is definitely a player very nearby and you need to get ready for a fight. Scan areas that are unknown. Don't be afraid to maybe use your scan if you're going into a new building and you don't know if there's a team there yet. If it's early in the round, just do it. Just use that scan and push it out. A good rule of thumb for his passive ability is to only call out actions and footprints less than 45 to 60 seconds ago. Anything over that isn't really useful. Anything under that, and you're probably already in the fight. Hound's ultimate is incredibly loud. You're basically moaning for everyone to hear. So make sure that if you're going to use this, you and your team are ready to push and actually use the speed and the scannings that you can get. If you have a teammate who can provide some cover, be sure to use that, as it'll probably help you gain good angles on a dazed and confused enemy. He only focuses on recon. With that though, he does have a great recon ability, especially with the beacons. Noobs tend to ignore this part, but if you're like me, I suggest you use it. Being able to position yourself in a building can really give you and your team the advantage in the end game, and the beacons help you to do that. Use the beacons to position yourself in a better spot. If you see that there's a beacon in the next ring and you can rotate kind of towards that, definitely try to do that. And communicate that with your team. That way that they're not trying to move in different directions and y'all can move as one unit. Aim is one of the most important parts of this game. One of the great things about Bloodhound is that aiming is easier. Knowing exactly where your enemy is sure does help when you're trying to hit those shots. Instead of constantly scanning, shoot more. Hit those shots. Your whole point isn't to figure out information all the time. The whole point is to use the information that you've already gotten and to win. That's the point. Bloodhound Moves. With this, you need to be using weapons that are close range. Shotguns are your friend here. R301, R9, Volt, Mastiff, Eva, Car. All good options if you want to hit those shots with your ultimate speed buff and how quick Bloodhound naturally is. There are a few downsides to this character, and if you want to go pro with this, you definitely need to keep these in mind. The negative part of Bloodhound's kit is that he doesn't actually have any crowd control or damage in his kit. All of his are kind of passive. So if you're going to use him, you need to know how to think critically. You need to be a pretty good shot. You need to be able to stick in a fight when it comes to it. Just to recap, be smart. Have forward thinking, communicate with your team, have fun, and don't be afraid to get up close and personal with the Bloodhound. If you guys want to watch some pro players, I put together a list down in the description for you just of kind of different people that I've found over the years, some good people with great advice on their YouTube channels and different videos to link down below. If you guys really did enjoy this video, let me know what character I should do next. I really had a great time putting together this video, and I really hope it helps you become better at the game we all love. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Drop a like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Adios.